Felt like your English is grammatically perfect, but somehow still sounds a bit, robotic.
Oh, yeah. Like you're reading from this invisible script in your head instead of actually living the language.
Exactly. It's like, all the right vocabulary for a strict business meeting, but what happens when that meeting ends?
Right, when you're just chatting by the coffee machine and suddenly the textbook doesn't help at all.
Yeah, exactly. So what if there was a secret ingredient that could instantly transform you from a standard English student into, like, a natural, compelling English speaker?
Well, that really is the ultimate frustration for learners, isn't it? It's almost this binary experience.
Right.
You either sound like a textbook or you sound like a local. And honestly, it's really comforting to rely on the textbook because the rules are, well, they're visible.
Neat and categorized, you know exactly where the subject and the verb go.
Exactly. But then you step into the real world of conversation and suddenly that pristine textbook is useless.
It's totally useless. You're looking at this linguistic landscape that is, honestly, a bit murky.
Yeah, people are using these strange metaphors about animals and cooking just to describe like quarterly earnings.
Right. So if you are tuning in today, you are looking for that seamless connection. Welcome to Everyday English Flow, Daily English Practice, Natural Speaking, and Effortless Listening Flow.
Absolutely.
Today, we're going to learn how to master idiomatic expressions to elevate your spoken English to a C1 level.
And we're going to do it methodically. We're going to cover exactly 18 specific phrases and idioms today.
18 phrases broken down into 5 crucial conversation categories.
Right, and these are the tools that native speakers use totally unconsciously to navigate social nuances, express subtle opinions, and just build rapport.
But we are not just going to read you a dictionary list and wish you luck. I mean, that completely misses the point.
Oh, totally. That never works.
Right. We're going to break down their hidden meanings, explain exactly why they exist, and provide real-world example sentences.
And maybe most importantly, we'll give you the precise pronunciation tricks you need to make them sound completely natural, like just rolling off your tongue.
Yeah, that is the crucial part. Because if you do not understand the cultural context or the physical metaphor behind an idiom, it will always sound forced.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's unpack this for our listeners.
Yeah.
If idioms are the secret to sounding like a native, shouldn't I just, pack as many of them into my sentences as humanly possible?
Well, you'd think so, right?
Yeah, like if one idiom makes me sound fluent, stringing together 20 of them in a row must make me sound like an absolute genius.
It's so funny, but what's fascinating here is that the exact opposite is true.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a huge trap that so many advanced learners fall into. It is actually believed by language experts, including renowned instructors like Keith, that you should absolutely not try to learn long lists of 20 idioms at a time.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, trying to memorize an idiom dictionary will actually severely hurt your fluency. Instead, you need a daily English diet of just like 1 or 2 phrases a day.
Just 1 or 2 a day.
Right. You pick them up naturally from movies, from real conversations, or from deep dives like this one, so you actually understand the social context.
So no cramming 50 idioms the night before a big networking event, huh?
Definitely not. Please don't do that.
I actually had a colleague who did this once. He used about 4 idioms in one single sentence during a pitch.
Oh, no. How did that go?
Everyone just stared at him. I mean, it sounded like he was in a bizarre Shakespeare play or something.
Exactly. You have to think of idioms like salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper. Okay, I like that metaphor.
Yeah, they add color, metaphor, and humor to your speech. They are the spice of your speaking, just like salt and pepper do for a wonderful meal.
Right.
But they are not the main dish. I mean, if you pour a whole cup of salt into a soup, what happens?
Well, you completely ruin the soup. It becomes totally inedible.
Precisely. If you use too many idioms, you ruin your English. It just sounds contrived and forced. You need to use them, and this is a great C1 vocabulary word to know. You need to use them sparingly.
Sparingly. Okay, let's break that word down for everyone listening.
Sure, so sparingly means in small, infrequent quantities. You are holding back.
Like using self-control.
Right. For example, you might say, because the chili powder is incredibly hot, you should use it sparingly.
Yeah.
Or, in our context, you must use idioms sparingly, peppering them into your speech just to give it a bit of flavor.
I love that visual. All right, so now that we know we must use these phrases sparingly like seasoning, let's start cooking.
Let's do it.
We will begin with the most common conversational ingredient, which is sharing your opinions.
Yes, category 1. So, If someone asks you a complex question, let's say they ask what you think about governments investing billions of dollars in space travel.
Okay, a big topic.
Right. You could just say, I think it is a good idea, and, it is grammatically correct.
Sure, but it's a bit boring.
Exactly. A C1 level speaker might lean back and say, my take on this is, well, it's a good idea.
My take on this is, now wait, is that a bit arrogant?
Yeah.
Like, I am announcing my opinion as this grand truth.
Oh, actually, no, not at all. If we connect this to the bigger picture of conversational dynamics, it really does the opposite.
How so?
By saying, my take, you are subtly acknowledging that there are many different perspectives, like many takes out there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and this one just happens to be yours. It is confident, but it's also collaborative.
That makes a lot of sense. It sort of leaves room for debate. So how do we make it sound natural?
The pronunciation trick here is all about stress. You want to stress the word my to emphasize that it is your personal perspective.
Okay, so my take on this is,
Yes. And to get that effortless flow, try connecting the words take and on, so it sounds like one word, like take on.
my take on this is, well, that speeding travel is a necessary risk. Wow, yeah, that instantly feels more fluid.
Doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
What is our second idiom for opinions?
You could also say, to my way of thinking, it's a good idea.
To my way of thinking.
Right. Now, this is not a literal physical path or a street. It is a state of mind. You are basically inviting the listener to walk down your mental path.
I like that.
And the key to making this sound native is linking the sounds. Notice how the words of and thinking blend together. To my way of thinking.
To my way of thinking, it just glides. But let's be honest, half the time I am asked for my opinion in a meeting, I don't actually have a strong one.
Right, which happens all the time.
What if I am completely undecided?
Well, this raises an important point about navigating indecision, which is a huge part of high-level English.
Definitely.
We have two fantastic idioms for this. The first is, I'm in two minds about this.
Boom. Two minds.
Literally two different opinions, pulling your brain in opposite directions. It perfectly describes cognitive dissonance.
I use that one all the time, actually. But I really love the imagery of the second one. What is it?
I'm on the fence about this.
Let's visualize that for our listeners.
Yeah.
I always imagine sitting on an actual wooden fence between two completely different yards.
Yes, exactly.
Like, on the left is one choice, on the right is the other, and I just cannot pick a side to jump down into.
That historical visual is exactly right. Fences define property lines. When you are on the fence, you are refusing to commit to either neighbor's territory.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
And the pronunciation tip here is to place a heavy stress on the word on, because you are emphasizing your current state of suspension.
Right, because you are not off the fence. You are on it.
Exactly. I'm on the fence about this.
I am on the fence. But usually, when you are stuck on that fence, you eventually have to figure out what the core issue really is.
You do.
Which brings us to our first phrasal verb deep dive of the day, which is to boil down to.
Yes, idiom number 5, to boil down to. English uses so many physical metaphors for abstract thoughts.
It really does.
Think about its origin in the kitchen. When a chef is making a rich sauce, they put a huge pot of liquid on the stove and boil it.
Right.
Over time, the extra water evaporates. It physically reduces, leaving only the most essential, concentrated, powerful flavor at the bottom of the pot.
So when you use this in an intellectual conversation, you are stripping away all the extra details like the fluff, the water, to reveal the single most important fact.
Precisely. You are finding the essence. Let's look at an example sentence.
Okay.
We can argue about budgets and timelines all day, but it boils down to one thing. We need more staff.
Wow. You are boiling away all the other arguments and leaving just that core truth.
Right. It cuts right to the chase.
That is such a powerful way to cut through the noise in a debate. It boils down to. Right, so we are about 10 minutes into our daily English practice right now.
Time flies.
It does. And if you're enjoying this natural speaking and effortless listening flow, please take a quick second right now to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, please do.
Your support helps us keep bringing you these deep dives. And hey, keep listening closely because there is a very special bonus trick waiting for you at the exact end of our conversation today that is going to fundamentally change how you practice.
Absolutely. You don't want to miss it.
So once you finally get off that fence and form an opinion, you inevitably have to express whether you actually like or dislike the thing you were discussing.
Right. Which brings us to evaluating preferences. Let's start with things we absolutely love.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. One of the idioms for something you love is It's the bee's knees.
The bee's knees.
Okay, I have to push back here. Why on earth are we talking about the joints of a flying insect? Is anyone actually saying this in the real world today?
It is a brilliant question. English is just full of these quirky historical phrases.
It really is.
It actually comes from the 1920s, an era filled with weird slang like the cat's pajamas.
Oh, I've heard that one too.
Yeah, it just means something is excellent, of the absolute highest quality. And yes, C1 speakers absolutely still use it.
Really?
Yes, but they use it playfully. It adds a touch of charm and irony to your speech.
But there is a trap here, right? A strict grammar rule.
Yes, there is a crucial grammar warning here.
Hmm.
You can only use the bee's knees for singular or very specific nouns.
Oh, I see. So I can't say, I love going on vacations, they are the bee's knees.
No, because vacations is plural in general. Instead, you would use it for a specific singular experience.
Can you give us an example?
Sure, like I rarely take time off, but that trip to Italy last week, it was the bee's knees.
Got it. Singular and specific. That trip was the bee's knees.
Exactly. And you notice you just said you rarely take time off. If you want to elevate rarely to a C1 level, you would use idiom number 7.
Which is?
Once in a blue moon.
Ah, I love that one.
Yeah, this refers to the rare occurrence of a second full moon in a single calendar month.
Right. And what if you do it occasionally? Not rarely, but occasionally.
Then you could use our 8th phrase, which is now and again.
Once in a blue moon, and now and again. I like those, but let's swing to the other side. What if I am just completely indifferent?
Indifferent, okay.
Yeah, like I don't love the idea, but I don't hate it either.
You would use phrase number 9, I can take it or leave it.
So this is basically like shrugging your shoulders, but doing it verbally.
That is a perfect analogy. It is a literal verbal shrug.
Okay.
You are saying your life will not change whether you accept the thing or reject it. I can take it or leave it.
Makes sense.
And here is a fantastic fluency trick for this specific phrase. Try to place a tiny pause right after the word or.
Oh, really? Like I can take it or leave it.
Exact. I can take it or leave it. That tiny break mimics the act of thinking, which helps your natural rhythm and makes you sound incredibly relaxed.
I can take it or leave it. Oh, yeah, that feels very native. But what if I actively dislike something, say, going to crowded concerts?
Then you would use phrase number 10, which is, it's not my cup of tea.
Not my cup of tea. Very British.
It comes heavily from British culture, yes. In polite society, it is often considered rude to directly say, I hate this.
Right, you don't want to be rude.
So we soften the blow. Heavy metal concerts, they're not my cup of tea. It is a polite, graceful way to decline.
Okay, so we've covered loving it, feeling indifferent, and politely disliking it. But what if you don't like or dislike it because you just flat out don't understand it?
Ah, confusion.
Yeah, let's say someone hands you a complex legal document.
Then you are experiencing total confusion, and we have 2 brilliant idioms for that. Number 11 is, I can't make head or tail of it.
Okay, so imagine looking at a really strange, bizarre alien animal.
Right.
It is so weird and confusing that you literally do not know which end is the head and which end is the tail.
Exactly. It implies utter bewilderment. I tried reading that new tax law, but I couldn't make head or tail of it.
That's a great visual. And the second phrase for confusion, phrase 12.
I can't get my head around it.
Can't get my head around it.
Right. This means the concept is just too massive or too complex to mentally grasp.
Like trying to hug a giant tree.
Yes. It is like your brain is physically stretching, trying to wrap its arms around an idea, but the idea is simply too large.
Wow.
So you might say, I know the universe is expanding, but I just can't get my head around it.
That physical imagery really helps lock the phrase in my memory. Wrapping my head around something.
It's very visual.
Okay, let's shift gears. Sometimes our conversations are not just about personal preferences.
Right.
Sometimes we are asked to definitively judge or rank the quality of a person, a place, or a thing in comparison to others.
Yes, evaluating the world. This requires a different set of tools.
Okay?
And before you even rank the subject, you need a strong way to introduce it. If you want to introduce someone or something as a surprise, you use phrase 13, which is none other than.
None other than. It's like a verbal drum roll.
Exactly.
Like we were walking down the street and who do we run into? None other than the CEO of the company.
Perfect. It builds instant anticipation. Now, let's say you are evaluating something that is in the top tier, the absolute peak of quality.
The best of the best.
Right. You have a few options here. You can say, it is, hands down, the best.
Hands down.
Or, Phrase 15 it is, second to none, meaning there is absolutely nothing in first place ahead of it.
Now, hands down is interesting. Does that come from horse racing? Like a jockey dropping their hands because they're winning so easily?
That is exactly where it comes from. It means a victory won without even trying.
I love knowing the history behind these.
It helps, doesn't it? You might also use phrase 16, a cut above the rest,
A cut above the rest.
which refers to the superior cut of a high-quality diamond or a fine piece of clothing.
Ah, okay. Or if it is a person you deeply admire, you would use phrase 17, I think, the world of them.
Yes. All of these spatial metaphors, like up above or the whole world, they instantly signal that you are placing the subject on a pedestal.
I think the world of my mentor. It is a beautiful sentiment, but what if the thing you are evaluating is just, well, average?
The middle tier, not bad, but not great.
Right. This is where we use phrase 18, a fantastic C1 term, run-of-the-mill.
Run of the mill.
I hear this a lot in business. What is the actual definition?
It just means ordinary, nothing special at all.
Okay.
And the history here is fascinating, too. It dates back to the Industrial Revolution and textile mills.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When a mill produced fabric, the standard output, before it was inspected, graded, or sorted for high quality, was just the run-of-the-mill. It was the basic, unexceptional product.
Wow, that context makes it so much easier to remember. Let's look at an example sentence for that one.
Sure.
I went to that new Italian restaurant last night. The food was okay, but honestly, it was just a run-of-the-mill restaurant.
Exactly. It is perfectly average, nothing to write home about.
Precisely. And finally, the bottom tier. Things that are just not so good, especially when you were directly comparing them to something vastly better.
We have two highly visual phrases for this. It's not a patch on, and phrase 20, it can't hold a candle to.
Wait, I love this one. Can't hold a candle too. Where does that come from?
Well, before we had electricity, masters and skilled craftsmen worked by candlelight.
Right. Makes sense.
An apprentice would be tasked with holding the candle so the master could see what they were doing.
Oh.
If an apprentice was entirely useless, people would say they weren't even qualified to hold the candle.
Oh, wow. So saying something can't hold a candle to something else is a severe downgrade.
A huge downgrade.
It is like saying the new thing isn't even worthy of providing light for the original thing.
Exactly. Let's use an example sentence. The new sci-fi movie is okay, but it can't hold a candle to the original.
That's a great example.
Or the television adaptation was fine, but it's not a patch on the book. You are making a definitive judgment that the original is vastly superior.
Now, because these idioms are deeply metaphorical, I mean, we are talking about holding candles, textile mills, and flying bees. Getting the intonation spot on is critical.
It is so important.
If you sound like a robot reading these metaphors, people will be incredibly confused.
It is true. If you stress the wrong syllable in run-of-the-mill, the metaphor completely falls flat and the listener just misses your point.
Which is why it is believed by many linguists that using AI voice recognition tools is highly effective for language learners.
Absolutely.
There is a mobile app called ELSA Speak that actually pinpoints your exact pronunciation mistakes.
Oh, yeah. That's a great tool.
It listens to you say it's the bee's knees, and it gives you real-time feedback if your vowel sounds are off, correcting you instantly so you do not build bad habits over time.
That real-time correction is invaluable. It acts like a digital coach in your pocket, ensuring that when you do decide to use these idioms, you are deploying them with the confidence and clarity of a native speaker.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? We have just navigated 18 incredible phrases across the most crucial conversational categories.
We covered a lot of ground today.
We really did. You now know how to get off the fence, how to politely express that a run-of-the-mill idea is not your cup of tea, and how to assert your take on a complex topic.
You have expanded your C1 toolkit significantly today, but you must remember our salt and pepper rule.
Yes, please do not forget that.
Do not go into your next meeting and try to use all 18 of these idioms at once.
Speaking of rules and strategies, it is time for the promised bonus. I told you there was a special bonus waiting for you at the end, and here it is.
The best part?
The true secret to mastering idioms isn't just listening to this deep dive once and nodding along.
Right.
It is moving this vocabulary from passive listening into your active, permanent routine.
Exactly. And the bonus trick is this. Do not try to memorize the whole list.
Do not do it.
Immediately write down just one idiom from today's session. Just one.
Just pick your favorite.
Carry that piece of paper in your pocket and actively force yourself to use it in a real conversation before you go to sleep tonight.
Just one. Sneak it into a text message, an email to a colleague, or chat over coffee.
Make it yours. Own it completely before you move on to the next one.
That is how you bridge the gap between being a textbook student and a natural speaker.
It really is.
If you learned something valuable today, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to keep your effortless listening flow going.
We are building a vibrant community of dedicated learners, and we want to see your actual dedication to your C1 journey.
We really do want to see who is putting in the work. So go down to the comment box right now and type these exact words. I stay committed.
Type it right now. I stay committed.
And before we go, here is your final idiom challenge for the comments.
Ooh, a challenge.
Imagine your friend asks you to go see a new movie about advanced quantum physics, but you completely, totally do not understand the science at all.
Not even a little bit.
Which idiom from today's lesson would you use to express your utter confusion?
Think back to our strange alien animal metaphor, or trying to stretch your brain around a massive concept.
Write your answer in the comments section. Keep practicing. Keep adding that tiny pinch of salt and pepper to your daily English diet.
You do not have to sound like a perfect robotic textbook anymore.
You have the tools to be a natural, colorful speaker. We will see you in the next deep dive.